Did you see Kevin ask what phone case that was?
Oh, this is the floral phone case, I think.
Is there a reason you can't see your chat?
I had the party that I was gonna be battling pulled up, but
Can you, like, not have it maximized? It stresses me out when you can't see your chat.
I mean that was the first thing. I haven't seen
I
it
know,
in a
but then
second.
I feel like responsible for making sure you saw it. I don't know.
Before I open the gate to the Zero Lab, let's give this a shot. Oh shit! It's Maridon too. Too many Maridon. Ours is a scaredy boy, apparently. But that's okay. These cutscenes are building the tension, goddamn. Okay, well, I'm counting my level cap as this because I thought I was already here and realized I was gonna have to do a bunch of other battling also. Especially since this team doesn't have an Iron Treads. Well, this is a little inconvenient on account of I wasn't really planning on battling an Iron Treads. And I don't want to tear it now. So the thing is this thing can't really normally touch Kilowattrel, but I also can't really do anything back to it with Kilowattrel, so I think I stay in an Earthquake at once. don't think Lycanroc's super helpful here anyway. Okay, never mind. Lycanroc helped. Yeah, I'm very much prepared to make sacrifices in the final battle. I'm a little annoyed I have to battle things before then, honestly, but... Also a little annoyed I'm potentially going to kill her Palmot here. Okay, good. It's a little annoying. I wish I knew this was here. That would have also brought a slightly different team leading into this. Iron Hands 64. Wild Iron Hands don't happen to get Ice Punch, do they? No. I should be okay to switch into Kilowattrel then. Yeah, it is a little hard to do a blind challenge run. Why did I close combat a ghost type? That was a very confusing and dumb play that I'm not a big fan of already having to deal with. Okay, so hopefully I don't have to battle too many more fucking Iron Hands. It's okay. I didn't really make it clear that I didn't know that there were big battles coming up, but... Okay, I'm assuming then I have to battle probably Iron Jugulus with Arven. Are you seeking spoilers on that? I am at this point, I would say. Just because at this point I would be pretty much at the end of the Nuzlocke. Well, I guess this is actually a decent opportunity for me to see if I need to run Assault Vest and not Memento. Okay, I took that pretty well. I'm gonna also gauge how much Icy Wind's actually gonna do. Not gonna actually gauge it because my Loster's gonna kill it first, but that's fine. Okay. I don't mind being spoiled. Is that the end of fights before TURO? I assume so based on using all of the partners there, but... Pretty sure, okay. It felt like it was, but I didn't want to just get like bombarded by There's a fucking Glamora just chilling in there. I was gonna say just casually busting out the Master Ball. Robots? Robots and death in my Pokemon? Goddamn. Yeah, that's super vague. Hey Justin, how's it going?
Those are some cute emotes.
Yeah, they are. Took an accidental nap. Well, welcome back to the final fight of the game, Momo. Whew. What a final arena, goddamn. Yeah, the jank was story related. It was all an AI simulation, that's why. Okay. Choice Scarf Annihilate, Earthquake Final Gambit Close Combat Rage Fist, Yachi Berry Kilowattrel, Roost Discharge Volt Switch Air Slash, Choice Scarf Espathra, Side Shock Dazzling Gleam Energy Ball, and Lumina Crash. Black Sludge Rev-Room, Iron Head Poison Jab Bulldoze and Protect. Focus Sash Iron Bundle with Encore Freeze Dry Water Pulse and Ice Beam. And Covert Cloak Tatsugiri with Dragon Pulse, Surf, Memento, and Icy Wind. The Paldealocke has been a long time coming. We have one more battle. Let's do this.
Got it.
Thanks.
Well, I'm grateful for it. Oh.
Oh, I just talked to him.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm grateful for it.
He said he was gonna.
Oh.
He said he was gonna. If I'm able to take a break before, potentially, I guess, but...
Could have just waited on the dialogue, could you? Or would it go on its own? Oh, pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. It's alright, TURO. Will you place the Viola book on the pedestal? I guess so.
Cooper, you gotta wipe the counter after you wash the plates.
Vincent, good timing with that resub. Thank you for 18 months. Goddamn. Thank you. Whew. Please defeat me. Busting out fucking leet speak on me. Ooh, that theme, goddamn. Iron Moth. Very cool design. Volcarona is one of my favorite Pokemon, so seeing it get love in a Paradox form is very exciting.
Is there a sweatshirt on the counter in here?
Oh yeah, I was cooking earlier, or I was cleaning earlier. I can.
It's not one of mine.
No, I was trying to make sure that it wasn't getting dirty from the dishes, so I took it off. I took it off before I did the dishes.
On a dirty counter? I'm really grossed out.
I'm sorry. I thought it.
Disgusting.
I thought I.
Sweatshirts.
I thought I had taken it off of there. I'm sorry.
I'm probably getting here by the second, so.
If it makes you feel any better, the second hit of that pen was actually better than I thought it was going to be, so if you... Oh, okay. I just had only hit it the first time. Okay, so... Iron Bundle comes in, which is pretty interesting. According to my rule set, by the way, I'm not allowed to switch in between Pokemon there, which is why I just stayed in instead of immediately switched out. Iron Moth is dead. Iron Bundle, I need to look up the stats for her again, just to make sure that I know. Even though I have one, it's still scary. This Iron Bundle has Drill Peck, Water Pulse, Freeze Dry, and Snowscape. I'm going to assume that it came into Drill Peck, but that's surprising that Iron Jugulus didn't come in, if that's the case. But either way, I have a Yachi Berry, and I'll just... probably discharge this. I'll be surprised if it goes for Drill Peck here, but I think that's what it's going for. Potentially Snowscape, but I feel like it comes into Drill Peck. Okay. Snowscape is fine because it just boosts the physical defense of Iron Bundle. And I'm trying to just do damage with this. I need to keep my flying typing for now, so I'm just gonna Volt Switch out, I think. Iron Bundle outspeeds me, but for some reason it goes for Snowscape again, which I think is a little bit of a choke on its part. Okay, but I kill with Volt Switch, which means that I get to bait the AI into something here. If I want to bait in Iron Jugulus next... I probably switch in Fen. And then Tatsugiri on the Dark Pulse. Is there a way to make Air Slash? Because Air Slash is slightly weaker. Or I could just go into this and just 07 Salute, Final Gambit, something, and just stay ahead on momentum. But I don't think I have to do that yet. So let's do the play that I think will bait Iron Jugulus coming in. So now the AI sees the Psychic type and tries to switch in Iron Jugulus. By my rule set, I have to stay in here, which allows the AI to switch in Iron Jugulus, which should be going for a Dark Pulse here. I want this in because Tatsugiri should be a pretty decent counter to this, because Tatsugiri is actually very specially bulky for some reason. This little guy can take hits fairly well. And with a Covert Cloak, I'm guaranteed to not flinch, which is the reason why we have a Covert Cloak instead of Assault Vest. And I think I just go for an Icy Wind to lower this thing's speed. Now that this thing is -1 speed, Kilowattrel should be able to come in and pick it off. I think that this is where Tatsugiri drops, but I'm gonna go for an Icy Wind anyway, just in case. Oh, I outsped, which I wasn't expecting to with Tatsugiri, and then missed because it was a 95% accurate move, but that's okay. 07 Salute, Tatsugiri, you did exactly what I needed you to this fight, and you served as a switch in to Iron Jugulus. Now we Volt Switch, we kill, we go into Annihilate, who has Final Gambit, and we're gonna Final Gambit the fuck out of something, 07 Salute something else, and hopefully kill something else. Iron Thorns is the Tyranitar. Just looking before I Final Gambit, I don't really have anything for this T-Tar, right? Not really. I can try to close combat this, because like I'll clearly outspeed, but I don't think close combat's gonna kill. 2 close combats might, but I don't know if it actually guaranteed does. Thank you.
Me?
Yep.
I
I love you too.
I love you more.
So I think what we do, Annihilate, buddy. You did all the work in this fight. Your Earthquake was clutch because I had fucking nothing else for Iron Moth. Annihilate's one of the coolest Pokemon ever. We've mostly gotten to just use it as a fighting type with ghost type attacks. We're gonna get to use it as one final niche here and go for Final Gambit, which is a move that kills us, but then also takes the appropriate amount of HP away from the opponent, which means Iron Thorns drops also. and we get to switch in automatically into something else, which I think is going to be my clean switch into Iron Bundle. Because Iron Bundle, well, no, because Fake Out's still here, and that would be a really bad waste of a Focus Sash. I think Kilowattrel is a safe enough mid-ground here, because he might just go Iron Valiant just because it does more damage anyway. Oh, never mind. Okay, I wasn't sure if Iron Valiant came out early in this fight or if it was like the other Pokemon. There's a chance that he Fake Outs here. But I'm gonna stay in and Air Slash into Volt Switch because he doesn't actually know I have Volt Absorb yet, so he might just go for a Thunder Punch. And if he does, I get a free turn. Fake Out's okay. It's not ideal, but the only thing he can do here is a resisted Drain Punch or Iron Head. I hope he goes for a Thunder Punch and just gives me my health back, honestly, but no. Okay.
It's like a King of War Thunder here.
Hmm. I think with the recovery that it got, it's actually probably out of range of Volt Switch. So I think what I do is I just Air Slash again. And then AI TURO sends out the final Mon, Iron Valiant. We can't switch. Quite frankly, we don't want to switch because at this point we're kind of in with the best thing that we have right now. Iron Valiant is a cool fucking Mon, goddamn. Oh, booster energy was actually used up. What stat is boosted? Attack. Oh, I did not know it was actually gonna use the booster energy. That's sketch. But we fucking Oko because Kilowattrel is a goddamn beast. And with that, the final fight is done. AI TURO honestly got kind of shredded. I feel like that went very according to plan. All of the deaths I had there were super planned. 07 Salute, Tatsugiri, and Annihilate. Both of those deaths were absolutely critical, both for momentum and taking out things. If I would have known that I outsped the Iron Jugulus, I probably would have just, or the Iron Jugulus after a 1 boost. I probably would have just went for a Dragon Pulse, but I think otherwise that fight, like, literally went perfectly for me. Well, okay, the thing is in terms of the actual Nuzlocke, I'm done now, Kevin. I do know that there's another battle here. I was slightly spoiled on that when I looked at the document. But this battle is outside of the Nuzlocke since you don't really use your party and stuff anyway. And as far as I know, it's scripted. Whew. I am so glad that fight went according to plan. Honestly, Iron Bundle also behaved super nicely in that fight, because otherwise that would have been a lot more sketch. I had a Yachi Berry, so I would have been able to take a Freeze Dry, but I wouldn't have taken a Freeze Dry super well, because Iron Bundle was a beast and a half. We actually didn't even get to see it in that fight. I was gonna... If Kilowattrel dropped there, I was gonna go into Iron Bundle next. Yeah.
Woo!
We have like one more battle I think that we have to do, but I think it's scripted at this point.
Stress-slicing.
Yup.
Go.
Oh no, it's the Terra! Thank you, Fed. Thank you, everyone. That was a very hype battle. And honestly, I feel like that was a good culmination of a lot of the prep that we've gotten to use this game. Running away would put everyone else in danger. Alright, well I guess I'm just gonna sacrifice my body then.
Okay.
Can't battle without a Pokemon. Well, no shit. That's why I was trying to run. Unless... TURO got pissed by the time the second Rhydon came out and was like, I only have Pokeball left, here you go. Dragons. No, my Miraidon used Hydron thing. So literally my best move to hit this with is fucking Power Gem, right? At least until I'm potentially able to use Terra Blast. I also didn't even have to Terra for that final battle, I just realized. That was good. I think the only thing I was considering Terraing was Tatsugiri or whatever the final mon ended up being, just to give a little bit of extra stab. But I think Kilowattrel needed to stay a flying type to be able to resist the fighting stuff. Honestly, now that the Nuzlocke is done, if you skipped over Kilowattrel in your playthrough, you missed out on a surprisingly beast Pokemon for this game. And like, I don't know if it's gonna be that good like outside of this game, honestly, like if it's that good in like competitive or anything. But like for the battles that are necessary for this game specifically, Voltabsorb Kilowattrel kind of just goes in. I feel like more often than not, I was like, the only time Kilowattrel wasn't on the team is because I needed 6 other things. Miraidon toughed it out so I wouldn't feel sad. Thanks, buddy. I guess I endure here, so I live again. Do I get to Terra eventually? Oh, that's right, it was a Hyper Beam turn. Absolutely should have attacked. I did not pay attention to what it was attacking me with, if I'm being honest. That was the worst endure of all time. but I don't think it really matters because I think I just got an Omni boost and also I'm +3 special attack now. So, goes to show you that even if you completely fucking choke and endure on the Hyper Beam turn, pretty sure you can't lose this one. Miraidon, let's terrestrialize, beat the crap out of this other Miraidon, and put an end to the Pokemon Violet Paldealocke officially. Since I only lost 2 Pokemon in this fight and both of them were calculated, I think I am going to keep this save file and just leave it at this level and try to check out the DLC when it comes out this fall. But for the purposes of like the Nuzlocke itself, we're absolutely done here. We beat the Elite Four, we beat all of the champions of the storyline, we stopped AI TURO, we beat up another Miraidon that was punking our Miraidon. You did it! We sure did. Also worth mentioning, I didn't actually say this on stream, but I am going to be ending stream once we're done with credits and stuff, because I'm hungry, Bun's hungry, and honestly this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to get through Pokemon tonight. Bun and I will be back tomorrow. I'll probably be doing a lot of Bun 3 design tomorrow, because I've been working on a level offline actually and want to show it off. I was going to show it off tonight, but you can kind of see it in the title down below. I managed to make the tides that rise and fall in the level Mondo in Super Mario World. I managed to find a way to make that a Kaizo, or like Kaizoified, I guess. So we'll be working on an ice level with those tides tomorrow. Should be pretty fun. I haven't done an ice level since either one of my race levels or for Bun 3 specifically since like 2021, I think. So it'll be fun to see what I can come up with ice stuff now that I'm a little bit farther along in design. Overall, the Paldealocke was a lot of fun. We had a little fun with the flexibility of some of the rules compared to like a super hardcore Nuzlocke, I guess. But we beat it without using items in battle. We beat it without using switch mode, which means that we stayed in every opportunity we had, and then hard switched or something after that, since this game doesn't actually have switch mode or set mode. We did a pretty good job of not over leveling. There were a couple of times early on in the game where experience share for everyone kind of fucked us over, and we were like a level over what we should have been for some level caps, but otherwise I think we did pretty good with that. We also had to use the revival blessing to scout out the Airy battle because that shit was hard, but we were able to scout out the proper move set for that and dodge all the sucker punches and then just sweep with the Spathra. Spathra didn't even have to hit the field during that Paradox battle, which is pretty wild because I thought that was going to be the thing that ended up like cleaning up the game, honestly. Like, I realistically don't think I could have asked for that Paradox battle to go any better. I even got kind of lucky with Iron Bundle just spamming Snowscape for some reason. I don't think it would have actually super changed the outcome of the battle had it just attacked me instead. I guess had it freeze-dried back-to-back turns, that would have been really bad, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I would have used the Yachi Berry on the first one and then thought I outsped, but I think Iron Bundle actually outsped me on the second one and went for another one. So I guess that would have been my lose con, is if Iron Bundle would have hit me with a freeze dry on the switch in. But I don't think it would have gone for a freeze dry against Infernate or Annihilate in any situation. Like, I think the Drill Peck read was stronger there. But I think the luck that I got for Iron Bundle was balanced out by the luck with Iron Hands, because Iron Hands should have probably Thunder Punched at some point. But it actually either just read that I had Volt Absorb, which I guess the AI TURO cheating would have kind of made sense, but it either read that I had a Volt Absorb or just kept going for Drain Punch because it wanted the slight bit of recovery. I've been told that I might want to mute the game audio for this because I don't actually know if this song is allowed, so I'm just going to turn this down a lot, and hopefully that's fine. It's an Ed Sheeran song, so I'm just going to talk very loudly and just give my thoughts to Pokemon Violet overall. And you know what? Actually, we're just going to go ahead and yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and mute the desktop audio so y'all don't have to worry about it. Pokemon Violet's really fun. I haven't played a brand new Pokemon game since Sun and Moon, the first Sun and Moon, not even Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I had a lot to jump back into with this one, but very fun. It's glitchy. I'm not even going to try to front and say, like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, there are times where stuff pops in, like, directly in front of your face, and you're like, oh, okay. But if Game Freak just gets a little bit more time to actually develop shit and, like, polish all this stuff out, I think this formula is the way to go for Pokemon going forward. All of the battles, I would say, that were like required in this game were actually like fun and challenging while still having like solutions for them. I feel like the diversity of Pokemon in this game is honestly actually really cool. We only used Pokemon that were brand new to the game, so we didn't really get to see it, but like there's a really cool mix of Pokemon across like every generation in this game. And I feel like it's kind of hard to make a Pokemon game that actually uses old Pokemon well. So kudos for that as well. Terra is probably the most fun battle gimmick, period, for Pokemon, I would say. I really liked Mega Evolutions. Z-moves were kind of fun. I never played in a gen with Dynamax, but I didn't really like it too much on Pokemon Showdown, honestly. But Terra is very, very cool. I feel like it solves a lot of the issues that the other ones had while still bringing its own fun stuff to it. I could see this gen specifically being very popular, like, long term. The Ed Sheeran song just keeps on going, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I liked that the gym leaders had coverage. I really liked the Starmobile battles. They were hard, but I really liked them. The story, honestly, was actually pretty good. It was like, I mean, pretty good by Pokemon standards. It wasn't like some super epic tale that we're going to be talking about for the ages or anything, but I would say in terms of a Pokemon story, it's easily my favorite since Gen 5. And honestly, this game in general is probably my favorite since Gen 5. And I really, 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 really like Gen 5, so the fact that anything even kind of came close to it again is really cool. Area 0... Oh, punch the mic. Area 0 of this game is probably the coolest area in Pokemon that I've played since Distortion World, maybe? Like, I feel like that's the last time my mind's been, like, that blown in a Pokemon game. Really big fan of everything that I got to use in this run, honestly. I feel like even Pig Pig, who we picked up on Route Run, Route 1. Shoutouts to LeChonk. Even Pig actually ended up coming in clutch and helping us catch our iron bundle, and ended up, I think, actually coming to one of the final battles, I think, against Clavel, and actually doing stuff. So, like, even the very beginning Pokemon that we caught in this game were super helpful throughout. I remember really being surprised by Nimble, because Nimble kind of just went in against a lot of gym leaders and Gita specifically. Kilowattrel really surprised me as well, because just an electric flying type with Volt Absorb. It's kind of Zapdos at home, with way less bulk, but like very fun to use, honestly, especially since it's a lot faster than Zapdos, so you can kind of pivot out. It's kind of like a cross between Jolteon and Zapdos, actually. But Ed Sheeran's it, but like it just kind of looked like the same teams, but like with another Pokemon or two. So let's give the official 07 salutes to the final members of the Death Box of the Paldealocke. Annihilate, Ghost Fighting is cool as fuck. I feel like we were able to use a lot of your move pool, honestly. We actually didn't really get to Rage Fist sweep as much as I thought I was going to, honestly. But Ghost Fighting, in terms of just even being a defensive typing, is really cool. And being able to just annihilate a threat with Final Gambit and the final fight after we had gotten a little bit of advantage to keep ourselves up on top was super clutch, because I don't think TURO ever really got a footing in that fight because of it. Tatsugiri also surprised me, honestly. When I picked this thing up from Casaroya Lake, I wasn't really sure if I was ever gonna have it leave the box, especially because it's Commander, which in singles is like completely useless as an ability as far as I know. But just being a water dragon type was like enough for it to kind of see use. It has very good special bulk also, which is really nice. Quick review of everyone that died, I guess, before we wrap up this playthrough. I didn't really get to use Circle Buggo very much. Spidops kind of seems like the most whatever mon this generation anyway, though, so I guess I'm not super upset about it. But Sticky Web could have been cool. It's stronger than it looks. I believe it. There's a lot of things in this gen that are stronger than they look, so I could see that. Garganoso, I know, is like a monster in this game, and we actually did get the good ability on this, where for some reason you don't take status conditions and you take half damage from ghost type moves, which is just like a weird but cool combination of stuff. But this ended up dying pretty early, so it didn't really get to explore its bulk very much. And then we had a run from the Cloth Titan fight through to the Psychic Gym, I think, where we didn't lose anything, which like saved this run, honestly, because we got kind of bodied by the beginning of the game and then did pretty good for the middle part of the game. And then as we got towards the end of the game, kind of started being more strategic with sacrifices and stuff. Rabska was kind of cool, but it was kind of slow, honestly. I feel like of every Pokemon I used here, like I probably wouldn't build a team around it again, but its Revival Blessing allowed us to actually continue the run, so thank you. Shroodle's really cool, honestly. I feel like I maybe didn't explore this mon as much as I could have, but we were able to focus, sash, unburden, sweep through most of the fairy car just by letting Azu hit us with a huge waterfall in the rain, set up a swords dance, use the focus sash, activate unburden to double our speed, and basically get a free +2/+2 and attack and speed in the same turn, and then just Terra Poison and just do as much damage as I could have. I could have potentially saved this thing had I gone for a gunk shot against the poison car, or the fairy car, but I figured doing 80% damage was better than an 80% chance of killing it, because if I didn't hit that 80% and missed entirely, it would have been kind of a waste of most of that setup. Bramblegast, Clodsire, Tinkaton, and Dotspun all died during the Elite Four, if I remember correctly. Bramblegast swept through a surprising amount of the game when I was able to use it with loaded dice, just loaded dice, bullet seed, and just outspeeding stuff. Its ability is also pretty cool. Windrider basically makes it immune to stuff like Air Slash and also gets a boost from stuff like Tailwind or other wind moves, which gives it a surprising immunity to stuff, which is cool. Clodzire's just a cutie and also very good. We had Water Absorb, but then had to Shiny Claws after we lost it to the Espathra that ended up actually making the final team. So we Shiny Claws and got our regular one because we caught a regular one and then immediately caught a shiny one. So this ended up actually being on the team for a while. Very good bulk. I wish I ended up getting Recover on it because that would have helped it out a lot. Tinkaton I like, but I didn't really get to use that much because I overestimated its bulk, I think. But it's a very cool Pokemon. Gigaton Hammer is a stupid good move, and Fairy Steel is one of the best typings ever. Dot Spun was something I wanted to like more than I ended up liking, honestly. It ended up actually coming in pretty clutch in the Elite Four, so like its speed is pretty good, its ability is fantastic, and its moveset is actually not bad. It's not very versatile, but it's not that bad. But the problem is like this Pokemon in general is just kind of like not that bad. So once you get into stuff that's like really, really intimidating, like it's a pretty frail, not very strong fairy type. And while it's cute, once you know of its ability, you're not going to be hitting it with a fire type move to give it double defense. So Low Kicks was one of the surprises of this run. I love this thing. Bug Dark's super cool typing. Its moveset and stats support Bug Dark really well. Like it's just a fast, hard-hitting offensive threat. I could have actually saved this thing had I Terra'd against Nemona, because I, in my head, still thought Meowscarada was quad weak to bug type moves, even though she had Terra'd into a grass type, meaning that she was only double weak to it. But that's okay. Honestly, this Pokemon wasn't going to be coming to Turo or anything anyway, so very cool Pokemon though. Big recommend. And then I already talked about these two. Everything else in this box I've kind of used at various points through the playthrough. Titan's really fast, honestly, and very bulky. Really like this thing. If you need a nice type, go for it. Flamigo, I got kind of late and honestly kind of underwhelmed me. I think because of exactly how late I got it. But Flighting in general is really, really good typing, and I think I just got this thing at the wrong time, honestly. If I would have gotten this thing early game, I feel like this thing would have been like an MVP of the run, but because I got it like as one of my last encounters instead of one of my first encounters, it was kind of just a frail, not as fast as I thought it was going to be flying type. Palafin's busted, especially if you're playing with switch mode and you could just switch out whenever. It's a little harder to use in this rule set specifically because you have to basically flip turn or force it in for a turn. But even if you can do that, like it's not that hard to do that. Palafin's stats aren't great, but they're not awful. And then once it switches out and turns into hero mode, it's like unstoppable. Scovillain's really cool. Grassfire's awesome, but I got Insomnia instead of Chlorophyll, so I wasn't able to use this to sweep as much as I would have liked to. Very cool moveset though. Big recommend. Veluza is really, honestly, not that bad if you get it early on like I did. It kind of tails off towards the end of the game, but it's pretty good throughout. Cyclozar is something that I really, really liked early on and thought was going to be coming to like every single battle, and then kind of just stopped coming like after even early mid-game. I thought Shedtail was going to be like something that I was going to be using on every team, but it just never really seemed to find a way on there. And it's like very frail, and even though it's like base 115 speed, this game's speed tiers are fucking ridiculous, and like that's not as fast as it needs to be as frail as it is, in my opinion. But if you can get off Shed Tails, obviously this thing kicks ass, but there's a lot of very fast things in this game, so it's kind of hard to consistently do that, in my opinion. Unless I just didn't really use this thing to its fullest potential, which is possible. Like Dark Bolivia, but kind of same thing. Normal grass is hard to use later game. But this thing is very bulky and hits like ridiculously hard. So if you need a special grass type, which is not super helpful in this gen, but kind of helpful, then it can be used. Skeleturge is the best. I love this guy. Torch Song's awesome. And then just being a Fire Ghost type is also really good. And I also just noticed right now that Skeleturge has a little Firebird that's just chilling on his nose. How fucking cute is that? He's just got a little Firebird at the end of his nose that just does things. That is the cutest goddamn thing in the world. How did I not see that until now? Skeleturge is the best boy, in conclusion. Winslow's also a pretty good boy. I feel like I would have liked Winslow more had I gotten Intimidate and not whatever other ability I got with it. Yeah, Guard Dog, which like didn't really help me in this run at all. And also, while Mono Dark is actually pretty helpful in this game specifically, I really wish this thing got a more versatile moveset. Pig was pretty surprising. I thought this thing was just going to be like early game, like normal type, and then I never used it again. And it's like a little bit bulkier than you thought it would be, and like a little bit harder hitting than you thought it would be, and also has a slightly more helpful ability than you thought it was going to have, and then also has a slightly more helpful moveset than you thought it was going to have. So overall, probably arguably one of the best, if not the best, like normal early game, like from start to finish. Big recommend. Tauros is amazing. You can get this thing so early, and then you just get Raging Bull also so early, which then turns into a base 90 attack of whatever your primary typing is. So with this thing being a pure fighting type, I basically got a slightly weaker close combat with no drawbacks super early and was just able to sweep a bunch of stuff. Mousehold's cool, but it's kind of hard to fit on teams because honestly you normally have better things to bring. And Population Bomb with Wide Lens is really cool and can kill a lot of stuff, but having a 1% chance to miss on an attack that needs to hit 10 times in order to really do anything does add up surprisingly quickly. Like you would expect to basically just get 10 hits all the time because it's only a 1% chance to miss. But you're like stacking like almost 100 hits at a time, so eventually it's going to cut short. And then if it does cut short, then you're kind of just dead or open to a big attack because Mousehold's not very bulky. And King Gambit is one of my favorite Pokemon from this generation period. Very cool Pokemon, very bulky. Big recommend. I have sung Kilowattrel's praises enough. This thing is basically Jolteon meets Zapdos. At least in Paldea. I don't know if it's going to be that good outside of it, but big recommend. Espathra, even without speed boost, is still busted. This thing's just awesome. Revavroom actually ended up kind of coming in clutch towards the end game because there's a lot of stuff that it ends up resisting and being able to switch in very well against. Yeah, Robo Delibird has no gender because he's just a non-binary robot friend. And then Delibird, or Iron Bundle, we didn't actually